There was no one guarding outside, so he just left. Power Yuo Ying was stunned. She didn't expect this guy to be so powerful. She thought that it would be impossible for her to leave here. So she quickly chased after him. Huaxian stopped, looked back, and said coldly, "Why are you following me? Aren't you afraid that I might do something bad to you?" "TSK, I'm not following you. The road is so big, I can go wherever I want. What's it to you?" Tower Yuo Ying still insisted. Huaxian stepped aside and said, "Then you go first. I'm not leaving, I want to enjoy the scenery for a while." After saying this, he looked around pretending to be relaxed. Huaxian smiled coldly and said, "Then you can enjoy the scenery here." Disappeared without a trace in an instant. Tower Yuo Ying was stunned. Only then did I completely understand that this guy is definitely an extremely talented master. "Hey, wait for me," he shouted and chased after him. Huaxian had already arrived at the place where the cages were placed. The kidnappers were flying so confidently that they didn't even look up. There were several more corpses on the ground, the blood had not yet coagulated, and the people in the cages were terrified. Almost all of them were trembling. In fact, they had some money, but not much. After all, the truly rich and powerful bosses wouldn't take a taxi. Those who take taxis are usually not very wealthy and have little power. So these kidnappers dare to do whatever they want. Huaxian originally wanted to cooperate with Dark Sky for some fun. But when he saw these kidnappers killing innocent people, he couldn't stand it anymore. "Honey, you're back." When he saw Huaxian, and he exclaimed in surprise. Experiencing the life of ordinary people makes her feel particularly mysterious. So she is always in a state of excitement. Everyone looked up and was surprised to find that it was Huaxian who was taken away. "How did you get out?" the hermaphrodite asked in a deep voice. Huaxian said, "Your men didn't close the door, so we came out." "Wait for me, bastard." Tower Yuo Ying's voice came from a distance. Huaxian said, "Look, that little girl is here too." The yin-yang man looked at the younger brother who took Huaxian and the others away with an unfriendly look. The two younger brothers were so scared that they said, "Boss, we are closed." Snap snap snap. He beat the two of them hard. "Boss, we are really closed." Still trying to quibble. How did they get out when the door was closed? Tower Yuo Ying ran over breathlessly and said dissatisfied, "Lie. Asshole, do you have wings? It's not a big deal that you can fly." The hermaphrodite reacted and asked in surprise, "No, I can't even fly here. How can you still fly?" Huaxian smiled and said, "Because I am strong enough." Rumble. A powerful lightning appeared in his hand. And the terrifying pressure of lightning suppressed the whole place. "Not bad, not bad, very good." A strange sound came from the earth. The next moment, click, click, the earth actually began to crack. Getting bigger and bigger. Boom. Huaxian quickly blew up the cages and everyone fled in panic. Dark Sky flew to Huaxian and said seriously, "Hubby, I sense that there are very evil creatures down there. Even more evil than me." Huaxian frowned. He had experienced the power of Dark Sky. Who is even more evil than her? Doesn't that mean he is even more powerful than her? Help, you big bad guy, save me. The huge rock where Tower Yuo Ying was located fell into the increasingly larger crack. Chapter 340, Abyssal Demon Chapter. "Hey, I owe you." Huaxian rushed over and put his arm around Tower Yuo Ying's waist. Tower Yuo Ying was so frightened that she instinctively hugged Huaxian tightly. Just when Huaxian was about to fly, several huge octopus-like tentacles emerged from the darkness and helped pull him and Tower Yuo Ying down. Seeing this, Dark Sky chased after him. "What should I do? What should I do? I don't want to die." Tower Yuo Ying felt herself falling rapidly and shouted in despair. Huaxian said, "You can't die even if you don't want to. You are dead now." "No, I don't want to die. I haven't married yet. I'm still a virgin. How could I die?" "Woo, woo." Huaxian smiled and said, "I am also a virgin." "Bah, shameless, your wife is with you. And you say you are a virgin." Whoosh. Dark Sky came to Huaxian and the others. Tower Yuo Ying was so scared that she screamed. And Yidian ignored her and said to Huaxian, "Hubby, this is the Abyss Demon chapter. It is estimated that the lowest level is the third level of True God." "True God level 3? That's level 63, Huaxian asked curiously. Dark Sky shook his head and said, "It's different. The realms before the pseudo-god Jin were all at level 15. When it reached the True God level, it was re-planned. It was from True God level 1 to True God level 100. Why was it re-planned? Because the genes of the True God level have evolved into rules. And they are numerous and complex, resulting in the huge gap between the levels that the 15th level cannot fully distinguish. For example, some people are only at level 65 of the True God Rule gene, but their combat power is much stronger than that of True God Rule gene level 70. The gap is too huge, so the powerful ones changed the grading system above the true god level based on the actual situation. I see. Tower Yuo Ying was stunned and said in shock after a while. You are all true gods? It's unbelievable that a true god level person was kidnapped by kidnappers. If you think about it carefully, they are probably just doing this because they are bored. Then he became happy. Since you are all true gods, can you deal with the guy down there? Dark Sky said. I can't do it, but my husband should be able to. Sister. I think you can do it. By the way, sister, what's your name? Tower Yuo Ying asked obediently, thinking that she should hold her sister's thigh tightly, so as not to be abandoned by you. As for Huexin, she doesn't like him. You can call me Dark Sky, or Dark Sky, and Dark D. They all call me that anyway, Dark Sky said casually. Oh, sister, your name is so weird, why don't you follow your parents' surnames? Tower Yuo Ying became a curious baby. You are still young. You won't understand even if I tell you. Tower Yuo Ying's reader said in a small voice. I am not little anymore. Huexin stared at a place he shouldn't be looking at and said. It's indeed not small. Noticing this scene, Tower Yuo Ying went crazy. Bastard, hooligan. After cursing for a long time, he said to when he had Ian, sister, please take care of him. He took advantage of me in front of you. Dark Sky said inferently. My husband has only one hobby, which is liking women. If I stop him from doing that, what's the point of him living? Tower Yuo Ying was stunned with shock. I thought to myself, is there any woman in the world who can be so magnanimous and not care about her husband having affairs? Huexin chuckled and said, wife, you are still the best. Tower Yuo Ying was speechless. Roar. A deafening roar came from below the abyss. Everyone looked on subconsciously. A pair of eyes like a full moon emitted a strange glow, illuminating the surroundings. Countless tentacles could be seen circling around. And below the eyes, a huge mouth opened, with the tentacles that bound them stretching towards the mouth. What should we do, bastard? Think of a solution quickly. Aren't you a real god? Tower Yuo Ying yelled at Huexin. Huexin smiled and said, it's so hard to be so close to you. I can't bear to be apart from you. Bastard, I'm going to bite you to death. She bit Huexin hard. Hey, don't mess around, or I'll leave you alone. You dare. Dark Sky, why are you with these two humans? And why has your dark power become so weak? The voice of the Abyss Demon chapter came. And it was obvious that he knew Dark Sky. I'm his wife now. So of course I have to be with him. There was no beating around the bush. And the powerful dark creature didn't bother to beat around the bush. The Abyss Demon chapter paused, then said in disbelief. You, the great Dark Sky, are actually willing to be a woman who targets humans. Are you crazy? Dark Sky chuckled and said, why don't you imagine how he can withstand my dark power and gain my approval? The Abyss Demon chapter suddenly realized and exclaimed. He is the human king. When Tower Yuo Ying heard this, she was stunned. He didn't know what the Abyss Demon chapter was. Nor did he know what the identity of Dark Sky was, but she had heard of the human king and had also seen him in ancient books. But I never expected that this guy is the human king? But isn't the human king in the records very handsome, perfect, and almighty? This guy just looks wretched. They must have made a mistake. If he is really the human king, and I devour him, won't I be able to evolve infinitely? Come on, my lovely human king. The Abyss Demon seal went a little crazy and sped up the process of putting Huexin into its mouth. Dark Sky said, I had the same idea as you at first. But later, I was conquered by him. I wish you good luck. He had no intention of intervening and just flew to the side to watch. Rumble. Thunder and lightning suddenly burst out from Huexin's body. And he struggled to create a gap. Wife, catch it. Throw Tower Yuo Ying to Dark Sky. Bastard, you abandon me, I curse you. Tower Yuo Ying screamed in fear. Dark Sky took over and said, shut up if I don't throw you up into the belly of the Abyss Demon. I will melt you into feces in a minute. Tower Yuo Ying looked down and saw Huexin being swallowed by the Abyss Demon seal. She pouted and said, he has a little conscience. And he remembered something and asked curiously, sister, is he really the human king? Yes. But he is so wretched. Totally different from the human king described in ancient books. How can you be sure that what you see is his real face? In the stomach of the Abyss Demon Claw, Huexin was wrapped in a strong mucus with a foul smell and pushed into the gastric tract. Heading towards the gastric pool. Soon we arrived at the stomach pool. Gurgle gurgle. The stomach makes such a sound that you don't want to hear. Huexin forced himself to keep steady and not fall into the stomach pool. Suddenly he saw a huge skeleton hovering in the stomach pool. When he saw the skeleton's head, he was shocked. It was actually the skeleton of a divine dragon. Looking at the corroded skeleton full of holes, Huexin was sure that this divine dragon had been devoured for countless years. Chapter 341, Killing. He was so scared that even the dragon was swallowed, corroded and digested if he fell down. Wouldn't he be turned into nutrient solution in an instant? But I don't want to fall, but I can't do it as I wish. The extremely strong mucus made it difficult for Huaxian to support himself. Boom boom. There was a sound of torrent coming from the taste. Looking back, I saw a stomach full of black swarming towards me. Boom. Without any power to resist, he was washed into the stomach by the torrent, surrounded by the horrible strong acid gastric juice. I felt my body being bitten by countless ants in an instant. It was a burning pain that was indescribable. Moreover, these gastric juices have extremely strong penetrating properties. They penetrate into the body through the pores all over the body, and are intended to surround and melt him from the inside out. What kind of human king is this? A voice came. Huaxian was unhappy. Thunder at Rebute activated. Fire at Rebute activated. Light at Rebute is turned on. Death at Rebute activated. All attributes of the master are turned on at the same time. Immediately, terrifying attribute powers ran rampant, and the stomach pool boiled instantly. The golden holy light actually formed a protective shield that avoided all the gastric juice. The powerful gastric juice could not do anything to the golden holy light. After getting out of danger, Huaxian looked at the stomach pool of the abyss demon seal with curiosity. I saw countless things that were not digested by gastric juice. Probably at least tens of millions. I'm shocked how many years did this abyss demon claw like to have so many undigested things in its stomach. Obviously anything that even the stomach of the abyss demon seal cannot digest is a treasure. System, open up a super large system space for me, and collect everything in the stomach pool for me. Ding, congratulations to the host. The super large system space has been successfully opened up, and all items in the stomach pool have been automatically locked and taken away successfully. Consuming reinforcement points. What really in points? The abyss demon seal was suddenly tortured by Huaxian's multiple attributes and wailed in pain. It struggled and rolled in the blackwater pool of the abyss, which was very scary. This made Hiadian and Tower Yuo Ying, who were waiting outside, extremely confused. Sister, what's going on? Tower Yuo Ying asked curiously. It should be my husband who is starting to fight back. Is he really that powerful? Tower Yuo Ying couldn't believe it. It's more powerful than you think. Dark Sky was mysteriously confident. In the stomach pool, it turned out that what the system took away was the super strong gastric juice that the abyss demon seal relied on for survival. Without the resistance of these super strong gastric juices, Huaxian's genetic power caused direct damage to his body. After Huaxian realized what was happening, he grinned and said, "Demon seal of the abyss, you were so arrogant just now and looked down on me. The king, come on, continue to look down on me. Damn it. How did you do it?" the abyss demon seal asked angrily with great pain. "I didn't do anything. I just thought your gastric juice was pretty good. It might be useful in the future if I keep it. Damn you. Give me back my gastric juice." Huaxian spread his hands and said, "You are about to eat me. Do you think I will let you go? I didn't expect that gastric juice is so important to the abyss demon chapter." Outside, Dark Sky said, "The aura of the abyss demon chapter is rapidly weakening. It seems that my husband knows his weakness and has caused fatal damage to her." It can be seen that Dark Sky did not know that the weakness of the abyss demon seal is the extremely corrosive gastric juice. Without gastric juice, or to be more precise, the body of the abyss demon seal began to shrink faster and faster. Coupled with the damage of various attributes from Huaxian, the situation of the abyss demon seal became more and more tragic. Boom! The huge body of the abyss demon seal smashed into the black water, dying. Seeing this, Yan hurriedly said, "Demon chapter of the abyss, surrender to my husband." "No, I will never surrender," the abyss demon chapter said stubbornly. Dark Sky shook his head and said, "What's wrong with following the human king? Follow the darkness. Do you think we have ever had an easy time? No, this time is different. Darkness and evil are stronger than ever before humanity, and justice will surely perish. That time, it wasn't us, the dark and evil, who had overwhelming power. But what about the last time? We were the ones who lost. And this time will definitely be no exception." The abyss demon chapter fell silent. Huaxian naturally heard the conversation between the two and said coldly, "If you are a girl, surrender voluntarily and I will marry you. If you are a man, then you don't have to surrender." Asshole human. This is the first time I've heard of favoring girls over boys. Of course, why would I keep a man around me? To steal my girl? You? Don't say anything about yours if you are a girl. Come out quickly, Dark Sky's wife knows it. I like this kind of girl. Asshole, you humans are all lustful creatures, you will eventually become extinct. Die. Oh no, he's going to self-destruct. And Hiatian was shocked and grabbed Tower Yuo Ying and rushed away. As for Huaxian, she was not worried at all as the king of men. He had great fortune, he gathered the fortune of the entire human race. And he would not die so easily. If you had self-destructed before, I might have been a little wary, but now you're barely at the true god level. Self-destruct. Who allowed you to self-destruct? Boom. Huaxian burst out with all his strength, maxed out all his powers, and threw a violent punch, hitting the stomach. With a loud bang, the extremely hard stomach of the Abyss Demon Seal was blasted into pieces. The energy originally gathered from the self-explosion was severely interrupted. Roar! The Abyss Demon Seal let out an extremely strange scream. The breath was weakening rapidly, Huaxian could feel it, and it was obvious that the Abyss Demon Seal was really no longer able to function. Huaxian finally breathed a sigh of relief. Human, you can't kill me. You can't kill me. The sound disappeared completely. Click. It destroyed the genetic nucleus in its head. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the hidden level mission. Kill the level 3 dark creature of the true god, and obtain 3 chances to draw a lottery. And receive the unlimited use rights of ordinary reinforcement points as a reward. Note, only the host and the heroine can use it. Huaxian was stunned. I didn't expect that killing the Abyss Demon Seal would actually allow me to complete the hidden mission and get such a terrifying reward. 3 chances to draw lottery are so rare, and the prizes you win must be top-notch. The most surprising thing is of course the unlimited use of ordinary enhancement points, so that all the heroines can be comprehensively enhanced. Although they can only be enhanced to the 15th level of the genetic realm, this is also an extremely huge consumption. The most important thing is that now you can't get ordinary reinforcement points by completing consumption tasks. So these ordinary reinforcement points have become very precious. Abyss Demon Chapter. I was originally feeling sorry for your refusal to surrender, but now it seems that killing you will not be a loss. Huaxian muttered excitedly in his heart. Husband? Are you dead? Came the voice of Dark Sky. Chapter 342. Who threatens who? Huaxian broke out of his body, flew in front of Dark Sky and said with a smile, Wife, you are so beautiful, I haven't enjoyed you enough. How can I bear to die? Dark Sky rolled his eyes and asked, Why don't you take the Abyss Demon Seal? Is he a female? From the sound of his voice I thought he was a male, said Huaxian. Dark Sky said speechless lie, due to reproductive reasons? The Abyss Demon Seal is hermaphroditic, which means that she can be male or female, and the others can also choose to completely transform themselves into female or male. Oh my god, that's it, but she refused to surrender and even blew herself up. I had no choice but to kill her. Hey, maybe this is destined. Let's go and play outside. He took Huaxian and left. Tower Yuo Ying, who was also accompanied by her, looked at Huaxian with great curiosity, and then said, Bad guy, sister said that your current image is a disguise. So what do you really look like? Huaxian replied, You better not ask or try to understand me, because I'm worried that you will fall in love with me. TSK, narcissist. When we got outside, those people and the kidnappers had already fled. Huaxian sighed, Those kidnappers are lucky, I was planning to kill them and rid the people of this evil. Tower Yuo Ying said, I think you are the biggest scourge. TSK, little brat, I won't bother with you. Hearing the conversation between the two, Dark Sky couldn't help but burst out laughing. Huaxian put his arm around her waist and said, Wife, if you laugh again, I will kill you right here. Okay, honey, I need it. Huaxian was stunned by Dark Sky's initiative. Oh, how can you do this? I'm still a child, Tower Yuo Ying said loudly. Huaxian smiled and said, Let's go to the Case Heng Hotel. Huaxian took out the captured spaceship and flew towards the Superstar Hotel. System, draw the lottery for me, all 3 times. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have won the growth type golden sacred armor set in the lottery. It was another reward from the angel class of light. Huaxian wondered if the system wanted to turn him into an angel. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have won a chance to revive through a lottery. Huaxian's eyes lit up. This reward was definitely a super reward. It was like having an extra life, he secretly exclaimed. Cool. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have won the growth weapon Holy Bow of Light in the lottery. After the lottery, Huaxian was over with joy, as the chance of resurrection was really rare. Auntie, what makes you so happy? Asked Ian curiously. Nothing much, I just gained some insights after killing the Abyss Demon Chapter. Insights? What insights? Tell me, husband. Ian pestered Huaxian in a Kokotha stone. Oh, I can't stand you guys anymore, Tower Yuo Ying said as she trotted into a room. The enlightenment of the light system will probably have no effect on you. My wife. Oh, it turns out to be the damn light system. Dark Sky immediately lost interest. Huaxian smiled and said, My wife without any outsiders, we? He rubbed his hands, hugged Ichan and started to bite him fiercely. Dark Sky didn't refuse either. The two of them were so passionate about each other that they soon entered a state of madness. In the room, even with the door closed, Tower Yuo Ying heard noises that she shouldn't have heard. She was speechless and thought that the couple was really shameless. At the same time, I was extremely curious and couldn't help myself. Then I secretly opened the door and looked inside through a gap. It's worth it to see the white flowers interweaving together. My face turned red instantly. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't control my curiosity, so I kept watching secretly. After 5 hours, Tower Yuo Ying was tired of watching and the two ended their fight. Fearing to be discovered, he quickly returned to the room. But all I could think about was pressing the screen. And I felt extremely shy. There is an uncontrollable urge. What should I do? Have I fallen in love with this guy? Tower Yuo Ying muttered to herself. It was as if a demonic voice was urging her. Go, find him, vent your anger, take him down. Just give it a go. I'm going to get married anyway, so I might as well take it at a bargain price. Tower Yuo Ying thought so and rushed out. He rushed to Vuxian and Enheadian and was about to speak. Didi arrived at Kaizhong City Superstar Hotel. Ding ding. The spacecraft is locked, and the energy system is shut down by remote control. Boom. The spacecraft, which had not yet landed, lost its energy system and fell heavily to the ground. Fortunately, the height was not high and the advanced spacecraft had a good shock absorption effect. So the people inside were not seriously injured. What's going on? Dark Sky said speechless lie. Vuxian said, I seized the spaceship. I think it belongs to a certain force in Kaizhong City. It was discovered and taken control by them. By the way, Tower Yuo Ying, what did you want to say just now? Tower Yuo Ying blushed and said, nothing, I just wanted to ask when you will arrive in Kaizhong City. Now that we are here, I have to leave. I thought to myself. I was so embarrassed, I almost lost my virginity. Luckily the spaceship arrived in Kaizhong City. Not long after, several large, fully armed spaceships arrived and surrounded Vuxian and his crew's spaceship. Those are strategic spacecrafts of the First Ray clan. The Hong family, why would they send out so many of them? They seem to be here for that little spaceship. Could it be that something else happened? At this time, the spacecraft's energy system was restored and the door was opened by someone. Whoever's inside, get out, a heavy and angry voice came. Vuxian took the lead and walked out. Seeing that it was a strange middle-aged couple, the other party angrily asked, who are you and where did the spaceship come from? Hey, isn't that Tower Yuo Ying, the daughter of the Tao family? How come she is also in the spaceship? Someone said in surprise when he saw Tower Yuo Ying. It's really her. How are Yuo Ying? How come you are in my tribe's lost spaceship? We were kidnapped, and then we managed to escape. This spaceship is our trophy. Tower Yuo Ying made up a story. The spoils, where were you kidnapped to? There are coordinates on the ship. You can check them yourself. Immediately, someone from the other side rushed into the spaceship and quickly found the coordinates. A leading member of the Hong family said angrily. You'd better tell the truth, otherwise you won't be able to bear the wrath of my Hong family. Threaten? Vuxian said coldly, you'd better not threaten me. Otherwise your Hong family can't bear my anger. Say it again. The other party was extremely arrogant. As a first-rate family in Kaizhong City, they naturally have the confidence. Vuxian said coldly, I say you, the Hong family, better stop threatening me. If you are threatening me, then don't leave. The Hong family was stunned. I didn't expect the other party would actually dare to say that. Who is threatening whom? Everyone around was stunned. And then they broke into a cold sweat for Vuxian. This was the Hong family. A first-class family in Kaizhong City, who would dare not give them some face? How dare they offend them? Are they stupid or tired of living? Chapter 343, I'm so envious, one kick costs 10 million. A young man from the Hong family was about to take action to teach this ignorant guy a lesson. But the old man behind him put his hand on his shoulder. The young man looked back, frowned and asked, Second master, what are you doing? The old man said, you are too young. Look at his expression, he knows the identity of our Hong family. But he is still not afraid. Is he a simple person? This kind of person is either very powerful himself or has a powerful backer. If you act trashly without knowing the details, it will bring disaster to yourself and the head of the family. The old man did not hide his words, and everyone heard them. Vuxian said, Old man, you have good vision. I am in a good mood today, so I won't bother with you. After saying that, he took Enheadian in one hand and Tower Yuo Ying in the other and walked towards the Superstar Hotel. Tower Yuo Ying blushed greatly as her hand was being held. She subconsciously thought of the scene she saw on the spaceship and became even more shy. Ubby, you're finally back. Fan King and the others had come out a long time ago. But they knew the details of the Hong family, so they didn't dare to speak out and cause trouble. Now that he realized that the Hong family didn't dare to touch Vuxian, he dared to speak out. Well, now that I'm back, do you miss being your husband? Yes, I miss you very much, but honey, what's wrong with your face? You look older. I almost didn't recognize you. Fan King asked worriedly. Lan Ying said, child, your husband is a well-known figure in Kaichang City. You must disguise yourself when you go out, otherwise. What if you get entangled by those vixens? While speaking, he also deliberately looked at Ian and Tao Yuo Ying. I see. By the way, who are they, husband? This is my new wife. Sky, this is Tao Yuo Ying, whom I rescued when she was kidnapped by robbers. Hearing this, Tao Yuo Ying felt very uncomfortable. He suddenly shook off Hu Xian's hand and said, I'm going home. See you later. Then he turned and left. I walked away, muttering to myself, you bastard, why didn't you call me? I don't believe you don't like me. After a long while, Hu Xian didn't say anything. When I turned around, I saw that Hu Xian had already hugged people on both sides and walked into the superstar hotel. Damn it, bastard, I hope you stay single forever. He stomped his feet in anger and left angrily after a long time. Zinar, what happened when you encountered robbers? Lan Ying asked curiously. That's right, brother Xian. What's going on? Pang Qingyao was also very curious. That is, Hu Xian briefly recounted what had happened. So that's how it is, those robbers deserved it, they dared to kidnap anyone. Hubby, you are their retribution. Honey, can we go shopping? Fan King suddenly said. Before Hu Xian could speak, Dark Sky said, okay, let's go shopping. I haven't gone shopping for a long time. Lan Ying also said. Hu Xian had no choice but to follow behind. Fan King lead the way and came directly to the best commercial street in Sky Mall. He was stopped by a female security guard. To enter the Sky Mall, at least one of you must have tens of millions of dollars in assets. Everyone's eyes fell on Hu Xian. Hu Xian showed his account balance, which was a full 40 million platinum, fully qualified. Sir and madam, please. A bunch of poor bastards dare to come to the Sky Mall with 40 million. Before I walked in, a group of couples walked out of the shop on the left side of the entrance. And the particularly handsome young man said with disdain, although Junio is not very old, he moves a lot, one can tell at a glance that he is probably a kept gigolo. He said angrily, even if we are poor, we are better than a pretty boy like you. You little bastard, who are you calling a gigolo? The young man was furious. Whoever answers is the one. Junya has Hu Xian's support and is not afraid at all. You're looking for a fight. The young man rushed towards Junya with such a fierce momentum that Junya was really a little scared. Whose dog is not on a leash and is running out here barking and growling? The young man was furious and immediately pointed the finger at Hu Xian. Who are you calling a dog? Hu Xian ignored the young man and looked at the woman and asked, you think highly of such a useless character? The girl smiled and said, it's just a dog, keep it when you like it, and kick it when you don't. But now he is still my dog. If you bully him, you are bullying me. Hu Xian smiled and said, how did I bully you? Did I touch you or kiss you? The woman was amused by Hu Xian's words and asked, do you want to touch me or kiss me? The young man felt that his position was no longer secure. And he yelled, you bastard, I'm going to kill you. He rushed towards Hu Xian and punched him in the face. Your dog doesn't seem to be very obedient. It started biting people without the owner giving any orders. Soak, the woman called out in a deep voice. The young man's body trembled, and his fist stopped less than 3 inches away from Hu Xian's face. Everything he had was given by the woman, and he dared not disobey her orders. My dear, you can see that they have gone too far, so I want to teach them a lesson. Sok asked. Teach him a lesson, the woman said. Boy, let me see what you can do this time. Sok swung his fist and hit Hu Xian again. He has no consciousness. Whoever knocks him down will be given 10 million by me. Hu Xian shouted to the crowd. 10 million, just defeating a piece of trash at the evolutionary gene stage is like picking up money. Naturally, someone will take action. Really? A thin girl asked first. His eyes were fiery and full of anticipation. With so many people watching, how can I lie to you? Bang! Although the girl was thin, she was no match for Hu Xian. As soon as Hu Xian finished speaking, she approached Sok and kicked him out. This scene shocked the whole audience. The others were stunned and hadn't reacted yet. The skinny girl took out the payment code and gave it to Hu Xian, saying, scan the code to pay. Hu Xian readily opened the communicator and scanned the code to transfer the money. Ding, 10 million platinum coins have been credited to your account. This prompt sound made countless people who were a step late at the scene extremely envious. 10 million per kick. Who wouldn't be envious? The woman's face turned ugly. Boy, you paid someone to beat my dog, that's something wrong with you. After he finished speaking, he said to the crowd, whoever brings him to me, I will give him 20 million. He pointed at Hu Xian. I'll do it. A strong man rushed towards Hu Xian in an instant. fearing that his opportunity would be snatched away by others. Uxian smiled and said, "Is there a lot of money to play for? Whoever beats this guy who rushes towards me will be given 30 million yuan." The thin girl who had just received the money, and felt that Huxian was very generous and had not yet left, rushed directly towards the burly man who was rushing towards Huxian. Bang! There was another muffled sound, and a huge black shadow flew out. "People on the path, get out of the way immediately." It was more than 30 meters long, and this guy was smashing on the ground. Everyone then saw clearly that the person flying out was actually that strong man. He looked in shock at the thin girl who asked Huxian to take out the payment code again. He didn't expect that although she was thin, she was so strong in fighting. Chapter 344, Please, help me. Huxian readily transferred 30 million platinum coins. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have completed the consumption of 40 million platinum coins within 20 hours and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding! New mission. Activate 10 times crit, complete within 20 hours and consume 500 million platinum coins. If the mission fails, deduct 1 level of the host's highest gene realm. Complete the mission and reward 1 evolution gene pill. Huxian was overjoyed he could finally show off by spending billions of dollars, which gave him confidence. The main reason is that he is used to spending in billions, so he feels unhappy when he suddenly receives some small amounts. This is not forcing him to spend money, but whetting his appetite. The onlookers' eyes sparkled with envy when they saw the thin girl receive another 40 million platinum coins. There was no danger at all, just a hits and I earn 40 million platinum coins. The woman's face looked extremely ugly. He roared, "Whoever of you can beat her and him down, I will give him 50 million. I'll do it, no one else can snatch it, otherwise I'll have a quarrel with him." An old man roared murderously, with such a powerful aura that people around him didn't dare to fight for the opportunity. Huxian said calmly, "Whoever defeats him and her will be given 100 million platinum coins." The onlookers gasped in envy just because of a small conflict. The two of them spent money like water, and the total amount increased to 100 million. The thin girl became excited. She was short of money, very short of money, so she came to Sky Mall to try her luck. The main reason is that everyone here is rich, and she didn't expect that she would really get the opportunity. Still, for the sake of 100 million, even though this uncle made her feel dangerous, she chose to fight to the death. The onlookers all retreated to a distance, feeling that this was a very intense battle. Court death. The uncle felt provoked and attacked angrily. Boom! After a blow, the uncle took 3 steps back and the thin girl flew backwards. However, he spun 360 degrees in the air, ignoring his injuries, with blood at the corners of his mouth, holding a dagger in his hand, and rushed forward again. Is this girl crazy? She is obviously no match for the uncle. That's right, for the sake of money, I really don't even want my life. That's 100 million. If I had the chance, I would give it a try. It's said that there are people who will come after finishing it. Boom! The uncle also took out his weapon, a long sword. This knife directly chopped the thin girl away, but he himself did not move at all. Kill! The thin girl yelled, the blood at the corners of her mouth becoming more and more noticeable. But she charged forward again regardless of everything. Boom boom boom. This went on over and over again. The girl kept attacking and her injuries became more and more serious. But she never gave up. I've given you the opportunity, but you don't cherish it. In that case, then just lie down. The uncle finally got serious. A terrifying sword energy slashed out. Feeling the power of the knife, everyone thought that the thin girl was doomed. The girl was overjoyed and shouted in her heart, "It's at this moment. Instant kill." The strongest skill burst. With his extreme speed, he not only avoided the uncle's powerful knife but also got close to him. Q. One of them pierced through the crack of the uncle's heart. "Uncle, you lose." He drew out his dagger, approached the gloomy woman, stabbed her neck, and finally hovered 3 inches from the woman's neck and said, "You lose too." Her body was shaking violently and on the verge of falling, which showed that for her, performing this instant kill required an extremely huge price to pay. But he fought for 100 million. The woman was so frightened that her face turned pale. The blade had no eyes, and if she was not careful her life would be in danger. The key point is that the thin girl is shaky. If she makes a mistake, it will be a disaster. She hurriedly said, "I lose." You quickly put away the blade. The thin girl then retracted the blade, and her body shook violently. It was obvious that she was at her limit. But she gritted her teeth and persisted. Looking at Huxian, relying on her strong willpower, and moving towards Huxian in an undetectable pace. Yes, it is moving, but it is too slow to be described as walking. Everyone could see the thin girl's condition, and everyone remained quiet and did not disturb her. Another stranger passed by and saw a lot of people gathered here. He couldn't help but ask curiously, "Friend, what's going on? What are so many people doing here?" "Hush, be quiet. Those who didn't understand what was going on chose to remain quiet. After all, the minority should obey the majority. But the people who came later couldn't understand what it meant after looking for a while. Boring. Neuropathy. He left muttering to himself. It was only a distance of 10 meters, but the thin girl walked for half an hour before she came to Huaxian and said with great difficulty, "I did it 100 million. It was difficult to take out the payment code." Oh, Huaxian sighed and shook his head. "Cure." With a wave of his hand, a ray of holy light hit the thin girl. Oh my god, the gene power of the light type. He is actually a light type. The extremely weak girl trembled and looked at Huaxian in shock. Strong, you have to be strong. She was extremely weak. And it would take at least a week for her to recover normally from the aftereffects of the instant kill. But now she could feel the recovery. Under the shocked gaze of the crowd, the thin girl recovered completely in a few minutes. The thin girl was even more shocked, because her genetic disease was actually cured a little. If she did it a few more times, wouldn't it be completely cured? Ding dong. The thin girl knelt heavily in front of Huaxian. "Sir, please help me, help me." Huaxian said, "Our transaction is 100 million. Give me the payment code as for curing you. I was completely moved by your willpower." "No, sir, I don't want 100 million, I beg you to help me." The thin girl hugged Huaxian's legs and begged bitterly. Others could see that the thin girl was abnormally thin, and the holy light cast by the young man seemed to be able to heal her. Someone said, "Young man, just help her, just think of it as a good deed." "That's right, help her, do more good deeds and accumulate more virtue." More people spoke up. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, "If you don't understand, don't speak. She has hereditary malnutrition. Although my holy light can suppress it, it cannot cure it. The only way to treat this disease is to keep eating very nutritious food. This is also the reason why she is eager to make money." Upon hearing this, a passerby said, "I've heard of this disease. It seems to be one of the terminal illnesses that cannot be cured. Even if you continue to supplement your nutrition, you won't live past 100 years old." Hu Odongyu took out the payment code dejectedly. And the fire of hope was extinguished again. Fan King felt sorry for her and said in a pleading tone, "Husband, please think of a way to save her." Chapter 345. On the brink of explosion. "It's not that there is a way. It just requires luck," said Huaxian. "Ah, why do you need luck?" Everyone is very curious. "Because there is a medicinal herb that can cure hereditary malnutrition. But it is hard to come by. If you find it, it can cure her disease. But if you don't, there is nothing you can do." Hearing that there was hope, the thin girl was also very excited. "Sir, I beg you to help me. Hu Odongyu is very grateful and is willing to repay you for the rest of her life." Boom! 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 Kowtow very hard. Huaxian quickly helped her up and said, "Don't get excited. I've made it very clear there is a medicinal ingredient that is hard to come by. If you want to cure your illness, the only way is to follow me. I beg you not to despise me and my brother. I can work like a slave for you and will never eat or drink for free." Hu Odongyu pleaded. "You have a younger brother?" Huaxian asked. Hu Odongyu said quickly, "I also have a 6-year-old brother. My parents died of illness after giving birth to my brother. My father disliked us as a burden and abandoned us. I raised my brother with my own hands." "Is that so? Well then, you can bring your brother with you and follow me. Whether I can cure you and your sister depends on your luck." "Thank you, sir, thank you, sir." Hu Odongyu was extremely grateful. "Don't call me an adult, just call me brother." Hu Odongyu was stunned. She didn't expect Huaxian to be so nice. She shyly called out, "Brother. Well, go and bring your brother over. This is my contact information. Just contact me when you get there. I still have to go shopping with your sister-in-law and the others." "Thank you." Hu Odongyu left excitedly. "Good job, brother." Many people around gave Huaxian a thumbs up. From this we can see that there are still many loving people. "Young man, since you are not a bad person, all our grudges will be written off." The woman walked over and said. Huaxian nodded and said, "Write it off. Wives, let's go shopping." "Okay." Dark Sky couldn't wait. "Sister, let's go." He pulled Fan King and ran away. Huaxian smiled bitterly and said, "Let's catch up quickly." After a while, the two walked into a clothing store. Looking through the transparent glass, most of the clothes inside are for women, with a variety of designs, which are very attractive to girls. "Wow, this dress is so beautiful," Dark Sky exclaimed as he looked at a black dress. The sound was so loud that it attracted many people to look over. "Come on, you bumpkin, those clothes were beautiful back then. But they were also incredibly expensive." "That's right. I can't bear to spend 300 million platinum coins to buy a set of clothes that doesn't increase my combat power." Huaxian and the others also came over. It was a completely black gift with bright spots that looked like an embellishment to the night sky. It was indeed a very beautifully designed gift. Honey, this dress is so beautiful, I like it so much, and Tian said, holding Hu Xian's arm. Hu Xian smiled and said, buy it if you like it. Yeah, husband, I knew you were the best to me, and Tian excitedly gave Hu Xian a deep kiss on the face. Hu Xian said to the salesperson, please help me pack this suit, etc. A voice came from outside the door. Many people looked over curiously. I saw a noble lady walking towards me, leading a beautiful girl who was having trouble walking. This girl seems to be blind. Someone noticed the difference and couldn't help muttering, "Show, keep your voice down, don't talk nonsense, that's an Yan Ran. The daughter of the top family Yan. Is she of such a noble status? But with the strength of the Yan family, it is impossible that they cannot cure her eyes." The lady lead and Yan ran to the dress, ignored everyone else, and said to the salesperson, pack this dress for my daughter. Yes, Mrs. Yan, please wait a moment, I will pack it for you right away. The salesperson was extremely respectful and did not dare to offend her in the slightest. Everyone thought this was normal. After all, the other party was from a top family. Hu Xian said, wait, my wife liked this dress first. Madame Yan looked at Hu Xian with a cold gaze. Say that again. Who is Hu Xian? How could I be afraid of threats? I am about to speak again. Dark Sky said, forget it. Husband, I can't afford to snatch things from a blind man. When Yan Ran heard this, her body trembled violently and tears rolled down silently. Who are you saying is blind? Mrs. Yan was extremely angry. Someone, dig out her eyes for me. Following her order, two powerful bodyguards rushed in and grabbed Dark Sky directly. Dark Sky stood still and said, she is blind to begin with. Is she afraid of what people say? Also, my husband is a skilled doctor. It is not impossible for him to cure her, but now, you have no chance. Bump. Dark Sky took action personally, kicking to masters of the pseudo-god Jin Rao one by one. And they were kicked away by her. Not only were the people around them shocked. Even Fan King and the others were shocked. They never expected that the man with a strange name, Dark Sky, whom Hu Xian brought back, was actually a master. Looking at the two pseudo-god level bodyguards, they fainted after being kicked away. Dark Sky looked at the salesperson and said, I want this suit. Hold it up for me. The salesman's body trembled, and he looked at Yanru trembling lie. Yanru was also stunned. She had thought that the other party's dress and temperament showed that he was a soft person. But now she realized that the other party was very strong. However, Yan Ran remembered those words, my husband is a skilled doctor. It is not impossible for him to cure her. Mom, she just said that her husband is a skilled doctor and can cure my eyes. She said excitedly. Yanru, whose face turned blue with anger, aimed to her senses and recalled carefully that there was indeed such a sentence. So she asked, are you telling the truth? Can your husband cure my daughter? Dark Sky ignored him and said to the salesperson angrily. I said, pack this suit for me, don't you understand what I'm saying? The salesperson was frightened by Dark Sky's aura. His body trembled violently and he said trembling lie. Okay, I'd pack it for you right away. Seeing that she was ignored, Yanryu became even more angry. I'm talking to you. He reached out to grab Dark Sky. Roll. Dark Sky roared. And a powerful dark force erupted. Yanryu didn't even touch her, but was blown away by the powerful and irresistible aura. At this moment, she was shocked to the extreme. You know, she is at the 48th level of the pseudo-god Jin. Was he actually blown away by the aura of a young-looking girl? I couldn't believe it when I experienced it myself. Seeing that Tian was on the verge of going berserk, Hu Xian grabbed her hand and said, wife, don't be angry. Your job is to make the loser happy, let me handle the unhappy things. Chapter 346, Rejection. Only then did Tian's emotions stabilize. Amid everyone's astonished gaze, she smiled innocently. My husband, you are so kind, thank you. Thinking of the scene just now. In contrast, I couldn't believe my eyes, this innocent girl was so terrifying. Hu Xian said to the salesperson, hurry up and pack it for my wife. Yanryu stood up, very unhappy to be blown away by Tian. But for the sake of her daughter, she suppressed her anger. Knowing that Tian would not pay attention to him, he looked at Hu Xian and said, since you are her husband, she said that you have excellent medical skills and can heal my daughter's eyes. Is this true? Hu Xian looked at the other party and said inferently, yes, I can do it. Seeing Hu Xian's cold tone, Yanryu knew it was because of his wife. So she didn't blame him. She said in a cold tone, name a price. How much do you want to treat my daughter? Mom, don't be like this. Maybe they don't need money at all. And Yan Ran felt uncomfortable when she heard her mother's tone. She could imagine what others would feel. I thought to myself, since you are asking for help from others, why would they be willing to help you? Tell me, how much is it? Yan Ryu ignored her daughter's words. Huaxian shook his head and sneered, your daughter is right. I really don't lack money, so you should go find those who are short of money. Yan Ryu frowned, thinking that the other party was the kind who wanted to save face, and asked coldly, is 10 billion enough? Huaxian ignored it. The people watching the show nearby were shocked. 10 billion. This amount of money is equivalent to the total assets of a third-rate family in Kaijiang City. Seeing that Huaxian ignored her, Yan Ryu's expression darkened and she said, 20 billion. Is. Some people took a deep breath in shock at the number. You should know that this is a platinum coin containing genetic power, which can be provided to practitioners for cultivation. Its value is simply incomparable to that of gold coins. Even Fan King and the others were shocked by 20 billion platinum coins. If they could cure in Yanran, it would be a huge profit. Huaxian still ignored it. At this time, the salesperson packed the dress and handed it to Huaxian, saying, Sir, this is the dress you bought. The price is 300 million platinum coins. Would you like to scan the code or transfer the money? Took out the account number and payment code. Huaxian added an account to transfer money. 300 million, to buy just a nice dress without blinking an eye. Ding, 300 million platinum coins have arrived in the store. Please check. When this reminder sounded, many people felt sorry for Huaxian. After paying, Huaxian said to Fan King and the others, Wife, mother, whatever clothes you like, just choose them. You don't have to save money for me. Honey, then I won't be polite. Fan King immediately stopped choosing, thinking that since Hiatian had chosen something so expensive, her choice must not be too bad. Lan Ying also smiled and said, and I'll take advantage of my son-in-law and go choose one too. Huaxian ignored Yan Ryu and her daughter and left. This scene made Yan Ryu so angry that she clenched her fists. It can also be seen that the other party is not short of money at all. After gradually calming down and thinking about the entire meeting process, I realized that the other party was probably not an ordinary person. The woman next to him is so powerful, with at least a pseudo-god gene level of 50. Could this guy be the eldest son of a first-class city, or even a super city family? Mom, what should I do? You've offended them and they won't heal me at all. And Yanran said in a tearful tone. Don't worry, daughter. Mom will find a way. What can I do? Mom, you are just like this. You rely on your family background and don't take anyone seriously. You have offended countless people. How can you talk like that? Kid, I'm your mother? The daughter came to Huaxian and the others, and said in a different tone, Hey, what do you want in exchange for healing my daughter? Huaxian ignored it. This made Yan Ryu very angry. But she didn't dare to explode. After all, she needed help from others. And Yanran said, Sir, madam, I'm sorry, my mother is just like that. Please don't bother with her. I'll bring my mother to apologize to you. I'm sorry. Daughter, what are you doing? Yan Ryu felt that this was a degradation of her status and quickly stopped him. Ma, we are the ones begging for help now. Can you please stop caring about your face? Are your daughter's eyes less important than your face? Yan Ryu was silent. And Yanran continued, Brother? Sister, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry, I beg you to help me. I really want to see the light. Seeing that Yanran's attitude was okay, Huaxian said, From the moment your mother angered my wife, I will not treat you, so please don't bother us again. Boom boom boom. Hearing this, Yanran took 3 steps back in despair. Tears rolling down her cheeks silently. She had sought medical treatment for her eyes countless times but to no avail. Now she had finally met someone who could cure her eyes. But she had been offended by her mother. She was so desperate. Yan Ryu cursed in her heart on the way. If you don't want to treat it, then don't treat it. There are countless great doctors in the world. There must be people with good medical ethics who are willing to treat my daughter. After that, he comforted Yanran, Daughter, don't cry. He hasn't seen your condition, and he may not be able to really heal your eyes. Maybe he is just unhappy about being hit by me, and his heart is open and closed. After hearing this, Yanran felt a little better. You know your own situation very well. You have sought medical treatment numerous times but none of them could cure you. And can be cured just because anyone says he can. At this time, Huo Dongyu, who went to pick up her brother, brought with her a boy who was even thinner than her. He was just a skeleton and looked as if he would fall down if the wind blew. He was obviously a child but looked like an old man. Seeing this young man, everyone present was shocked. I also felt pity for him. How pitiful, what's wrong with him? Someone who didn't know the situation asked curiously. I know, I've seen it in medical literature. This condition seems to be hereditary malnutrition. It sounds like it's just a lack of nutrition, but it's not. If you have this disease, you won't live more than 100 years at most. 100 years may sound like a long time, but you have to know that this is a world of genetic evolution and cultivation. As long as you are not a waste who is born incapable of cultivating genes, It is normal to live for several hundred years. Therefore, in such a world, life under 100 years is considered short. Huo Dongyu excitedly brought his brother to Hu Xian and said, "Brother, this is my brother Huo Dongji, he is exactly 6 years old. Dongji, call me brother." Brother, Huo Dongji spoke. His voice was very weak, and he was dying, as if he would not live long. "Bad luck," Yan Ryu said without any sympathy. Hu Xian frowned, took a deep breath, and then suppressed the anger and dissatisfaction brought by Yan Ryu. He reached out and touched Huo Dongji's head and said, "Brother, don't worry, you will get better one day." Chapter 347. I feel sorry for the 10 billion. Pure. An extremely holy light hit Huo Dongji's head and exploded, quickly spreading throughout his body. "It's so comfortable. Sister, it's really comfortable. I've never felt so comfortable before." Huo Dongji grabbed Huo Dongyu and started dancing excitedly. After the cure, he showed some improvement, but it was limited. "Sister, I did that again, will I die?" Huo Dongji asked in despair. "Silly brother, we have big brothers to save us, no? We will all be fine." "Big brother, is that true?" Huo Dongji asked Hu Xian innocently. "Really, big brother promises it," Hu Xian said with a smile. Seeing this, Yan Ryu said dissatisfied, "Lai boy, what benefits can these poor sisters give you that would make you give up 20 billion platinum coins and not treat my daughter?" Hu Xian said coldly, "Because you have a bad character and you are self-righteous. I will never help you." King wife, mom, have you picked out any clothes you like?" "Honey, I like this business suit, but it's so expensive. It costs 200 million, Fan King said. "I never thought in my life that I would buy clothes worth 200 million yuan. Purchase." Salesman, pack up. Having seen Hu Xian's financial resources, the salesperson did not dare to delay and quickly packed up the goods. Yan Ryu, who was standing by, was so angry at Hu Xian's words that she cursed. "You little bastard, if you don't heal my daughter, I won't beg you." Salesman, "This suit costs 300 million, I want it." The price increased by 100 million directly. The salesperson who was packing shuddered, looked at Hu Xian and said, "Sir, if there is competition for all the goods in our store, a one with the highest bid will win, you see. No need to look. I bought it for 500 million platinum coins." "What?" Many people were shocked. Fan King was also frightened and quickly said, "Hubby, forget it, I don't really like this dress, so I won't buy it." Hu Xian said forcefully, "Buy, you must buy, it's more than money. I haven't lost yet." Yan Ryu smiled coldly and said, "I'll offer 600 million platinum coins. 1 billion. The people watching the show around took a deep breath of shock. Yan Ryu also risked her life, 1.1 billion. "I have 100 million more than Hu Xian. I thought, if you want to buy it, I will make you unhappy and prevent you from buying it." Hu Xian sneered, "You want to compare your wealth with mine, right? 10 billion. You can add more if you dare to add more. I won't buy it. Come on, add more." Hu Xian sneered smugly. "It's just a set of exquisite clothes, not a combat uniform. 200 million is already a loss, and 10 billion is definitely a huge loss." Yan Ryu's face looked extremely ugly. "If I add more, I'm afraid the other party really won't buy it with more than 10 billion. I will definitely use it to buy it. I won't add it. It would be embarrassing with so many people watching. But this 10 billion is really not a small amount. I won't add any more. I want to see if you can come up with 10 billion. Yan Ryu said suddenly. Hu Xian said with disdain, "You thought you were so great. But that's it? 10 billion is enough to stump you. You call yourself a top-tier wealthy family, but I think you are just top-tier trash." "You? What do you mean? Raise the price if you have the guts." Yan Ryu smiled. "I won't add any more. I won't add any more. It only costs 50 million at most. But you spent 10 billion to buy it. I am happy to see you being taken advantage of." Fan King said worriedly, "Hubby, we won't buy it. I really don't like this dress." Lan Ying also said, "Son-in-law, I also think this dress is ugly and not suitable for my daughter. We won't buy it." Hu Xian shook his head and said, "If my woman likes something, she will buy it, not to mention platinum coins, even diamond coins. Sales package." Then he looked at Yan Ryu and said, "If you raise the price for me, all I will lose is 10 billion platinum coins, and your daughter will be destined to be blind for the rest of her life." "You!" Yan Ryu was furious, and in Yan Ran burst into tears again. "Sir, madam, the clothes you purchased have been packed. According to the competitive price, you need to pay 10 billion platinum coins. The system will transfer money to me until it reaches 10 billion. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have spent 500 million platinum coins within 20 hours and received an evolution gene pill as a reward. Ding, new mission, completed within 20 hours, spend 600 million platinum coins. If the mission fails, deduct 1 level of the host's highest gene realm. Complete the mission and reward an evolution gene pill. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have consumed 600 million platinum coins in 20 hours. This happened in the 8th chapter. Ding, congratulations to the host. You have completed the consumption of 1.2 billion platinum coins within 10 seconds. Completed the task ahead of schedule, and received a critical hit reward of 180 evolution gene pills. Ding, new mission, get 8 times crit, complete within 8 hours and spend 10 billion platinum coins. If the hot mission fails, the host's highest level gene realm will be deducted by 1 level, and the reward for completing the mission is 1 evolution gene pill. Ding, congratulations to the host for spending 3.7 billion platinum coins, meeting the payment requirement of 10 billion. There are 6.3 billion platinum coins left. Please complete the consumption within 8 hours. Huaxian asked the salesperson, is that enough? The salesperson was shocked and said, that's enough, sir, it's exactly 10 billion. Hearing that Huaxian paid 10 billion, everyone took a deep breath again. For a big power, 10 billion is not a lot, at least it won't hurt them. However, everyone feels heartbroken to use 10 billion to buy something worth 200 million. Even though this is not the 10 billion I spent, I still feel heartbroken. Everyone looks at Huaxian as if he is a prodigal. What are they looking at? A madman. If he is not that kind of person, how could he be so foolish as to spend 10 billion to buy something worth 200 million? However, Fan King, who received the gift, was so moved that she burst into tears. In her eyes, this gift was worth tens of billions, or even priceless. Why are you crying? I'm giving you a gift, why are you still crying? Huaxian said with a smile. Fan King was extremely moved and said, you fool, I am just worried about the money. 10 billion platinum coins are enough to buy out our family. Huaxian smiled and said, if you like platinum coins, I'll give you as many as you want. I don't want the around the corner. I just want a husband who will love you forever. Huaxian hugged her and said, Abi loves you too. He looked at Lan Ying and said, Mom, just buy whichever one you like. And King Yao, Junia, just take whatever you like, don't be polite to me. Lan Ying said, there is no style I like here, let's go. King Yao and Junya also hurriedly said, there's nothing we like either. It's not that I really don't have any, but when I see Yan Ruyu here, I'm afraid she will raise the price. Okay, let's go to another store and continue shopping. With a huge amount of money in his pocket, Huaxian was generous and confident, and took the lead to leave. Yan Ryu, however, pulled and Yan ran to follow behind, thinking that if I don't make you bleed heavily today, I won't ask for Yan Ryu. Chapter 348, The Lingering Ghost. By the way, I forgot about you and your sister. If there is anything you like, I will give it to you, Huaxian said, looking at the two siblings. Huo Dongji said honestly, brother, I want platinum coins. Lots and lots of platinum coins. Brother, don't be like this. We should be grateful that our big brother is willing to help us with our treatment. Don't make things more complicated. Huo Dongyu quickly taught him. Huaxian picked up Huo Dongji and said, okay, I'll give you as many platinum cities as you want. But you still have to buy what you need. Don't worry. I have a lot of platinum coins. Really? Real? Brother, you are so nice to me. Do you like my sister? They said that if my sister finds a good man to be my brother-in-law, he will treat me as well as my sister. So are you my brother-in-law? Brother. Huo Dongyu was extremely shy. She lowered her head and didn't dare to look up to see anyone. Huaxian smiled and asked, do you want me to be your brother-in-law? Have no idea. Soon we arrived at a shoe store. I like luxury clothing stores. Shoe stores not only have luxury shoes, but also a lot of combat boots. Dear guests, what style of boots would you like to buy? The salesperson asked enthusiastically. There is no disdain for anyone. It is worth noting that Yan Ryu kept following them with an Yan ran. Honey, forget it, I think we should not buy it, Fan King said. Buy it? What's there to be afraid of? I have no shortage of platinum coins. Huaxian, who understood what they were worried about, said generously. Lan Ying said, Zinar, I don't think this is a question of whether we are short of platinum coins or not. Don't you see that many people look at you as if you are a fool? No matter how much money we have, we cannot let others take advantage of us. Husband, let's go eat, said Dark Sky. Okay, let's go eat. After leaving the shoe store, we soon arrived at a restaurant called High End. The waiter was also very enthusiastic. Dear guests, please come in. A table is just right for 8 people. Ladies and gentlemen, scan the QR code on the table and order food through the communicator. The waiter introduced. Huaxian shook his head and said, don't bother with that, bring me all the best signature dishes you ordered. Sir, we have a total of 18 signature dishes here, and the cheapest one costs 5 million platinum coins. Are you sure you want one of each? The waiter kindly reminded. Yes, one of each. and fast. Okay sir, you can enjoy a 10 discount on the group purchase of 18 signature dishes. You also need to call directly, 180 million platinum coins. Please tell me whether to transfer or scan the code to pay. Transfer the money. Ding, 180 million platinum coins have been credited to the hotel account. Please confirm receipt. Hearing about the improvement, many people dining in the restaurant looked over. I wondered which rich second-generation prodigal son he came from. How could he eat so much? Yan Ryu, who was sitting nearby, frowned and thought to herself, I want to see how many platinum coins you have to spend. And Yan Ran had a bitter look on her face and said nothing. Honey, 8 of us can't finish the 18 dishes. Fan King said speechlessly, thinking to herself. No matter how rich you are, you can't squander like this. But An Hyeon said inferently, don't worry about your husband's wallet. He doesn't need money. Soon, 18 signature dishes were served one after another. Sir, please eat these 9 dishes first, we will serve the next 9 dishes when the table is free. The waiter was really polite. Good. Come on everyone. Eat. Fan King picked up some food for Huo Dongji and said, Father, eat more. And he picked up some food for Huo Dongyu and said, Sister, you should eat more too. Thanks. Everyone takes turns to pick up food. The brother and sister were deeply moved. I started crying while eating. Sister, I feel so happy, as if it has always been like this. Huo Dongji said innocently. Brother, I definitely will. Huo Dongyu was so moved that she cried. Hu Xian said. From now on, we will be a family, and it will be like this every day. The meal took more than 2 hours. Everyone was full and rested for more than an hour before leaving the restaurant. Yan Ryu still followed with Yan Ran. Husband, they are really haunting us and following us. They are so shameless, Fan King said with annoyance. Don't pay attention to them, just sell whatever you want to buy. I'm not short of money. Forget it, husband, let's go back to the hotel and sleep. Fan King said shyly. Why are you sleeping in broad daylight? Lan Ying said. Hu Xian said, why don't we go to the military headquarters? I'm just going to get the supervisor's certificate. Okay, I haven't been to the military headquarters yet. Fan King was extremely excited. So everyone played the aircraft. Where are you going? The driver asked. Go to Kaijiang City military headquarters. Okay. Yan Ryu watched Hu Xian and the others go away. But still did not give up. He took out his flying vehicle and took Yan Ran with him to chase after him. Mom, let's go home, my daughter is tired. And Yan Ran said with disappointment. I thought, if it weren't for my mother, maybe the other person would have healed me. Although it's not certain that he could heal me, what if he could? Daughter, don't be angry, don't worry. I am now investigating the identity of that guy. As long as we find out who is behind him, I believe that the medical skills of that person behind him are much better than his. In this way, I can heal your eyes. When Yan Ran heard this, she thought it made sense and calmed down. An hour and a half later, they entered the military-controlled area of Kaijiang City. A military spacecraft intercepted the civilian spacecraft. This is a military stronghold, no unauthorized spacecraft are allowed to approach. The other party shouted, and the driver said bitterly, I'm sorry, everyone, I can only take you here, the total is 1,000 platinum coins. Pay the bill. The driver started to land only after Hu Xian transferred the money. On the spaceship behind, Yan Ryu murmured in confusion, what is this guy doing in the military? Could he be a member of the military? Mom, are we at the military headquarters now? Isn't my eldest brother in the military headquarters? You can try to contact him. Look at me, I forgot about the eldest son. I'll quickly contact my eldest son in Kingju. As soon as Hu Xian and his companions stepped off the spaceship, soldiers immediately surrounded them and asked, who are you? Hu Xian said, notify your commander and tell him that Hu Xian is here. Seeing Hu Xian so confident, the captain of the soldiers did not dare to be careless and quickly contacted his superiors. As the calls were made one level at a time, the news was received quickly. Supervisor, the commander-in-chief wants to see you. The spaceship landed and Hu Xian and his team boarded the military spaceship. Just about to leave. The soldier said, wait, there are 2 more people. Who else? The soldier said, they are General An's family. It's us. Yan Ryu walked over with Yan Ran. Chapter 349. Supernatural. Do you have any shame? Hu Xian exploded and shouted angrily. Yan Ryu said smugly, you are shameless, your whole family is shameless. I am going to the military headquarters to see my son. I want to go, so what is it to you? Looking for your son. Right? Very good, I hope your son does well, Hu Xian said coldly. What do you mean? Yan Ryu asked coldly. The soldier next to him introduced. Madam, the man in front of you is our military supervisor. If your son violates the rules or does something wrong, he has the right to punish him. What? Are you the supervisor? Yan Ruyu was shocked. Everyone knows that the power of the supervisory commissioner is second only to that of the commander-in-chief. And he said seriously, even if you are the supervisor, you can't take revenge for no reason. My son has done a good job. And it's impossible for you to take revenge. After saying that, he walked to the side of the spaceship and quickly sent a message to his son to remind him. In a few minutes, the huge military base arrived. A helipad is reserved for senior generals. Military Commander Shi Yun-hong and a group of senior officials are already here. The hatch opened and Shi Yun-hong took the leap and with a smile on his face, Hu Xian walked out of the spaceship. Shi Yun-hong said excitedly, "Supervisor, you are finally here." He walked over and gave Hu Xian a hug. And he pulled Hu Xian to face a female general beside him and introduced her. "Supervisor, let me introduce you. This is my daughter Shi Hongyue. She is still single." Tired of smiling bitterly, he said, "Hello, General Shi Hongyue." Shi Hongyue did not shake hands with Hu Xian. He said in a cold voice, "Hu Xian, right? I don't know why my father thinks so highly of you and tries so hard to bring you and me together. But I tell you, if you want to be my man, you have to be strong enough." Hu Xian looked at Shi Yun-hong speechlessly and said, "Commander Shi, what is your arrangement?" Shi Yun-hong glared at Shi Hongyue fiercely and said awkwardly, "I just knew that the supervisor was young and promising. So I praised him a few more times in front of my daughter. And she mistakenly thought I was trying to bring them together. I hope the supervisor doesn't take it to heart." "Son." Yan Ryu, who came out from behind, saw a young general in the front row, shouted in surprise, and quickly pulled and Yan ran over. "Son, you've grown taller and seem to have lost weight. Are you suffering from poor food in the military?" "Mom. Don't talk nonsense, I'm fine in the military. By the way, Mom, why are you here at the military headquarters with the supervisor? Don't mention it to me." Yan Ryu just talks nonsense. And Yan Ran interrupted loudly, "Brother, the supervisor has made him a highly skilled doctor and said he can cure my eyes." "Really?" And King Ju was overjoyed. "But brother, my mother had a conflict with the wife of the overseer. So the overseer was very angry and was unwilling to treat me." Hearing this, and King Ju walked towards Hu Xian and said respectfully, "Supervisory envoy, I am in King Ju, a first-class general in the military. Please don't bother with my mother and heal my sister's eyes. I thought that we were all from the same military and we were all one family. So I shouldn't be rejected." Hu Xian smiled and said, "You are a good person, but unfortunately, your mother is not. This matter is not as simple as your mother offending my wife. What is the news? You should go and find out." After that, he said to Shi Yun-hong, "I just came here to get the supervisor's certificate. And also to bring my family to visit the military headquarters. Is that okay?" "No problem, absolutely no problem, just make sure you treat this place as your own home. Daughter, you will lead the supervisor and his family to visit our military headquarters." "Dad, how can you do this to your daughter? This is an order. Soldiers must obey." Seeing that his daughter was trying to find an excuse to refuse, Shi Yun-hong said majestically, "First-class General Shi Hongyue accepts the order. The supervisor asked you to come." Seeing this, Shi Yun-hong shook his head shamelessly. Hu Xian led everyone to leave with the reluctant Shi Hongyue. After they were far away, and King Ju asked Yan Ryu in a deep voice, "Mom, what happened?" Yan Ryu disagreed and said proudly, "What else can it be? I just raised the price. The cost of a set is less than 50 million. And the selling price is only 200 million in the end. They spent 10 billion. This is the result of offending me. Mom, you are confused. How can we ask others to treat my sister if you do this?" And King said shamelessly, "Son, isn't he the supervisor of the military? You can definitely find out his background. He is a doctor. And his family members must be better doctors. Find out his background. I will take my daughter to his family to treat her eyes. Alas, that's all I can do." Shi Yun-hong was also there. And said sternly, "And King Ju, you can think of a way to heal your sister. But I tell you, you can't do anything that will offend the supervisor. Or you will be severely punished." "Yes." The other side. Shi Hongyue led Hu Xian and the others away from the crowd and walked to a less crowded place. He said with disgust in his eyes, "Hu Xian, I don't care if you are a supervisor or something else. I warn you, don't set your sights on me." Hu Xian became impatient and said coldly, "I, Hu Xian, swear that I will not pay attention to you. If I have any thoughts about you, I will be struck by lightning." I thought, what the hell, the thing I have the most around me is women. And yet you keep warning me again and again, so self-righteous. Fan King and the others were shocked. They didn't expect Hu Xian to be so serious this time. And Hietian looked at Shi Hongyue and shook his head, thinking that you self-righteous woman are ruining your own future. This is the human king. After you swear, you will never have another chance. Shi Hongyue said disapprovingly, "You'd better do so." and he coldly took Huaxian and the others for a stroll. Wow, husband, look, that's so beautiful, thank you, Intian shouted, pointing to a place in the distance where flowers were blooming and butterflies were flying. After seeing it, Anhiadian also exclaimed, it's really beautiful. He couldn't help but run over. Chihonga Yui said sternly, don't go there. No one paid any attention to her and everyone walked away. Only when we got closer could we see clearly that this was actually a cemetery. However, all the gates were locked, and the roads inside were covered with flower petals and leaves. It was obvious that it had been abandoned for a long time. Huaxian frowned and said, this should be the martyrs' cemetery. Why is there no one to take care of it? Chihonga Yui replied reluctantly, because there was a sudden paranormal activity here. After many investigations, the cause could not be found. So this place was abandoned, and no military personnel were allowed to approach the 1-mile radius. Supernatural? Huaxian muttered, and asked, Anhiadian, wife, have you found anything? Darksky closed his eyes and felt for a while before saying, apart from the Densian energy and resentment, there is nothing else I found. Is that so? Then let's go in and take a look. Chapter 350. Big problem. No one is allowed to enter without the commander-in-chief's order. Chihonga Yui said sternly. Huaxian said, as the supervisor, I want to go in, and you have no right to stop me. Besides, I will be responsible for everything. After saying that, he jumped over the 3-meter iron gate and entered the cemetery. Others jumped in one after another. Strangely enough, as soon as I entered the cemetery, I felt a gust of cold wind blowing. Although the sky was clear, I felt cold. You bastards! Chihonga Yui cursed angrily but still jumped in. Feeling the chill, he shouted angrily, see? It's like an icy cave in the blazing sun. This is not normal, do you understand? Huaxian turned around and looked at her and said, if you are scared, you can go out, no one will stop you. I'm the supervisor, you'd better not lose your temper with me. Chihonga Yui was really so angry that he didn't say anything. He thought to himself, just wait, you will regret it. Wow, it's beautiful, it's really beautiful. Several girls were running in the sea of flowers. Ouch. Suddenly Junia fell down. And he looked back angrily and saw the thing that tripped him. Screaming in fright. Huaxian walked over quickly. This turned out to be a skeleton. Huaxian frowned and asked Chihonga Yui, what's going on with this skeleton? Chihonga Yui said, how should I know, maybe he crawled out of the grave himself. Hubby, there are also skeletons here, said Dark Sky. Everyone walked over together, and sure enough, there was another skeleton. Look, there are some here, and there. Everyone was shocked. As expected, there were skeletons hidden in the sea of flowers. How could this happen? Even if there were skeletons in the past, there wouldn't be so many. Chihonga Yui frowned and muttered. Huaxian walked behind a tombstone and did not see any holes. He walked behind several tombstones and the same thing happened again. Something's wrong, they don't look like they just crawled out of a grave. Dark Sky said, hubby, the soil on the grave is different from the one next to it. Huaxian quickly checked and found that it was true. Then he threw the soil away with his hands. The soil underneath was actually gray, which was very strange. Something's wrong, these skeletons might have really crawled out, said Dark Sky. After thinking for a while, he continued. They must have been cursed. Curse? These are all martyrs. Who would curse them? Could it be dark creatures? Huaxian muttered. Chihonga Yui said, there is a race of aliens, I think they are called Skoda people. They are good at cursing. Honey, this place is too weird. Let's leave, Fan King said with some fear. Huaxian said. How about this, Mom? You take King and the others away. And Anhiadian and I will stay here. Husband, what are you doing here? Fan King asked worriedly. Huaxian said, there may be key drugs here to treat Huo Dongyu and Huo Dongji's hereditary malnutrition. My wife Hiadian and I will try our luck. Well, son-in-law, you guys should pay attention to safety. Lan Yingshi was a decisive person. After saying that, he took Fan King and Pang Qingyao away. Junia naturally didn't dare to stay alone. Huo Dongyu mustered up the courage to say, brother, since you are looking for medicine for me and my brother, let's stay. Huaxian shook his head. No, your cultivation is too low. You can't help us leave now. Huo Dongyu was not able to give up. She was fine, but her brother was a burden, so she took Huo Dongji and left. Brother, sister-in-law, be safe. Huo Dongji shouted sensibly. Okay, we know. Huaxian said to Chihonga Yui again, I suggest you leave as well. Chihonga Yui said majestically, I was ordered to be your tour guide, and I dare not disobey military orders. Huaxian smiled and said, it's up to you then. Then he pulled Dark Sky towards the depths of the mausoleum. A mausoleum is very large, and it is probably the burial place of no less than 100 martyrs. Looking around, there is a sea of flowers half a person's height. Even the tombstones are blocked from a distance. This place looks like a paradise. Ubby, there is something wrong here. There are not even any insects. Ants, birds or animals. There should be butterflies and bees flying around in this sea of flowers. But there are none. Well indeed, it looks like there will be something exciting tonight. You don't seem to be afraid at all. Shihonga Yui couldn't help but ask. Why should you be afraid? Huaxian asked back. Shihonga Yui said coldly. When night falls, you will know why you should be afraid. Huaxian asked curiously. From your tone, it seems like you have experienced something here. Why don't you tell me about it? No need, you are so brave. You can see for yourself at night. All right then. Huh? Dark Sky let out a light exclamation and trotted across a basin. Huaxian hurriedly followed. Oh my god, baby fruit, or ginseng fruit. I saw that this place was full of vines, and the fruits on the vines were white fruits that looked like real babies. The difference is that this fruit is only the size of a palm. Dark Sky stroked a fruit and said, this is not a baby fruit or a ginseng fruit, but a vengeful spirit fruit. Grudge fruit, is this some kind of treasure? Huaxian asked curiously. Shihonga Yui said, this is definitely not a treasure. I'm afraid it's a great evil. There was no such thing here before. Dark Sky said, this thing will turn into a real vengeful spirit at night and devour the yang energy of living things. After that, he asked Shihonga Yui, military, has it appeared recently that many people are in low spirits and in bad condition? Shihonga Yui was surprised when he heard this. There really are some. And they are increasing in number. The military doctor diagnosed them as infectious colds. Could it be that the vengeful spirits transformed from the vengeful spirit fruits have sucked away their yang ki? Dark Sky nodded and said, that's about it. Then can we eliminate them now? Shihonga Yui was about to take action. Dark Sky stopped him. No, we are only destroying the body they are parasitic on. If we destroy and anger them, it will only deepen their resentment and make them even stronger. Then what should we do? There are so many of them here. We can't just wait for them to come out at night and then kill them, right? Looking around, there are probably no less than 1,000 of them. Don't be anxious, the resentful spirit fruit is here. I guess they are all small characters. After saying that, he walked in one direction. About a kilometer away, we discovered a flesh ball as tall as a person. Could this be Taisui? Huaxian asked. Dark Sky praised, you got it right. This is Taishui. I have only accepted it. This is the extremely evil spirit Taishui. Is this thing very powerful? Shihonga Yui asked. Dark Sky replied, not that strong. When the mature stage comes out, the highest is only true god level 20. Now this one is still in the infancy stage. And when it comes out, it will be true god level 1 or 2. The first thing he said was truly god level, which frightened Shihonga Yui so much that he took a deep breath. Because of the introduction of the old Taoist priest who had come along the way, Shihonga Yui did not doubt it and asked with great concern. What should we do then? How about we leave and let the commander use the super weapon to raise the entire cemetery to the ground?